A new patch just dropped on the staging version of the console edition of Rust, and if this patch holds up to be true, it could be a real big step in the right direction. So let's go over the patch notes and talk about what this thing contains. Patch 1.22. Crashes. Fixed a crash that occurred when joining various map seeds. Fixed a crash that could occur when opening the quick crafting menu. Fixed a crash that could occur when attempting to show interaction menus. Fixed a crash that could occur when firing a gun. Fixed a crash that could occur when attempting to select or use an item. And fixed a crash that could occur when opening a turret's inventory. So this is good. This actually takes care of a lot of the crashes that I've run into over the last couple weeks of playing. So I'm happy to see that. Now with the gameplay, we've got some adjustments that are actually very important in my opinion. Adjusted junk pile scientist and heavy scientist AI to further match PC. I'm not sure exactly what this means because on the Rust Discord, the devs have stated that they think that the reason that the scientist AI is getting so overpowered is because they're giving them meth. No, it's actually because it's like the PC edition code that's being ported over repeatedly as they're trying to merge in changes from the PC version into the console version. So the way code works is basically like if you want to take a chunk of code for a monument, maybe let's say you're trying to take oil rig, right? You take that chunk of code and you put it in, but there's other parts that come with it. It's connected to all this stuff. It's sort of like you're trying to pick apart a spider web and put it back together in your own web. Sometimes you get a web or a piece that you really didn't want to take, and it sounds like that's sort of what's happening with the scientist AI. But the fact that they're trying to further match it to PC makes me think there might be a little more to the issue. I'm not sure though. Fixed an issue with junk pile scientists spawning in junk piles 100% of the time on specific junk piles. This is now correctly at 10%. So the scientist spawn rate is 10%. I actually didn't know that. Fixed junk piles so they could no longer despawn if their scientist is alive. I feel like that could be an issue because if they're looted and they don't despawn, won't it be an issue with just all these scientists roaming around dead junk piles? I don't know. Fixed an issue with scientists chasing the player for longer than 5 seconds. So now you know scientists will only chase you for 5 seconds. Fixed an issue with AI not forgetting dead players. So now they won't try and shoot your reanimated corpse. Fixed footstep sounds not being played while wearing frog boots. And honestly, so many people are wearing frog boots on the main branch. You just have to do it. I've been snuck up on a few times and it really, really sucks. Fixed an exploit that allowed players to clip into foundations with chairs. That's a good one. Fixed an issue with small stashes being visible under terrain if playing on a very low terrain quality setting. I'm wondering if this is going to affect some other issues that we're not going to talk about. Fixed the volume of cargo ship's horn so it can now be heard more clearly across the map. So basically now it's like a truck horn blasting in your ear instead of just a low sort of chill vibe. They want to really just get your heartbeat. Fixed event items showing in the crafting menu after the event has ended. That really, I guess that's good, but like the event hasn't even started yet, so nobody noticed that. Adjusted spider webs so that they no longer give scrap when recycling. That's actually a really good fix because that is a completely broken system on the staging branch at the minute. Fixed medium loot bags not giving the barrel costume and crate costume. So those two costumes are actually pretty cool. If you can get the barrel or crate costume, you can sort of blend in with the environment and try and ambush players. That's a really good one. I just made my Halloween guide and I completely forgot to put that in there. Don't think I'm going to have a chance to edit it, but let's see. Monuments. Fixed an issue which caused a player to become hostile after being attacked by another player in a safe zone. Fixed an issue which caused chairs at launch site to become impossible to dismount, so don't sit in any chairs in monuments. Replaced extra mountable chairs which are not intended to be mountable with normal chairs at the launch site. So there's more chairs you can sit in. I don't recommend sitting in them, but if you want to, you can. Fixed an instant death spot at the water treatment plant rock arch, an airfield ladder, and at the outpost. I didn't know about the instant death spot at the outpost. That's interesting. Fixed an issue which prevented a player from removing low-grade fuel from the tuna can lamp, miner's hat, ceiling light, candle hat, and lantern. Various potential fixes for being unable to create a team. And known major issues that they're working on are the double sound issue, sound crash when on boats or big gunfights, and invalid shots. So for those of you who've been asking about invalids, this is it. They are working on invalids. I don't think that means they're going to be fixed ASAP or anything like that because the thing with invalid, so like I do work on, I code a bit. I don't code games, but I'm a professional programmer. So the thing about something like invalid shots or anything like that is there's a litany of issues that could be causing it. And some of it, it's like lag on the player's end. So some of the people complaining, it's like your internet's just not that good. The ping's not that good. And it doesn't help that Rust doesn't give us the ping of actual servers. If they did that, I think people might find it a little bit more acceptable. But you can look up in the upper right-hand corner and see how your connection's doing. Sometimes I look over and I'm surprised. Like, I think the server's in my area. It should be a pretty stable connection. And then I see that like a red bar and I'm just like, okay, that's why I'm getting invalids. So I think some of it is just players don't know that they're entering into servers that just don't work. In addition to this, like you've got all sorts of issues. Like if there's bad code, if the code's old, like just there's so many things when it comes to internet connections and stuff like that. And just being able to correctly register shots so that the player that's shooting feels like they're shooting correctly and the player that's getting hit feels like they're getting hit correctly. If you've ever played a game where you feel like you're behind cover and you get shot, likely what's happening is that's an issue with the net code. And instead of giving an invalid, they're just making you die. So that's the other side of things, right? Like if they decide to make no invalids, which they could do, that means you could get shot by someone who's lagging or someone who gets an advantage on you. So it has to do with the code between the server and the players, and it has to do with the code between the server and the 2 or 3 or 4 players that are in a combat situation. So it can actually be a really hard thing to do. And that's one of the reasons I don't harp on the invalids part of things. Like that is something that is a significant problem for almost every developer. And the fixes are there's some really advanced stuff. There's some really interesting stuff, but it can be hard because you're dealing with so many different internet connections and people connecting to servers that they probably have no business connecting to. And it's a complete mess. But overall, I think this is an issue in the right. I think an issue. No, I think this is a step in the right direction. I like the fact that now they're saying known major issues that they're working on, so you don't get the impression that they're not working on anything. And I like the fact that they got this fix out pretty fast. Like, this is what I'd expect. This is what I expected when they released that horrible patch, like 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. This is what I expected. Like this one, they released the patch. There were some issues with monuments, people dying, stuff like that. They've come around and they've put something out on staging extremely fast, and I really do like that. It's a really quick turnaround on their part. So hats off to UD11. Really good. Really glad to see that this update was just thrown out there so fast, put together so quickly, and now it's in testing. And yeah, assuming everything goes correctly on the staging branch, this will be moved over to the main branch. My guess is they want to get this out before the Halloween update because you got those barrel costume issues, which if everything holds up and they can't get that medium bag fixed out, that's going to be a big deal. Also, fixing the spiderweb issue was paramount in my opinion. So the issue you run into with that spiderweb thing is you can recycle spiderwebs for scrap, and then you can make spider webs using cloth. So you can basically get an infinite loop of scrap collection going when you're sitting at the outpost, which means everybody can just become OP super fast. You build by the outpost, get a bunch of scrap just by trading through the outpost and playing that whole vending machine to scrap conversion game. And then from there, you've got as much scrap as you need to buy whatever you want, and scrap is virtually worthless, which throws off the whole game. So yeah, it's really good to see that. Also, for those of you who are wondering, because a few people want like these updates at the end, the computer's fully built. I've been playing a few games recently. I played the PC version of Rust, and I've got to say, the graphics and everything like that are much better, but the community has a lot less chill, at least on the official servers. Also, I jumped into the Cycle Frontier, which a few of you guys recommended. Really great game. I'm loving that whole looter shooter aspect. I love the fact too that like, unlike Rust, where your loot's always up for grabs, I love the fact that it's only up for grabs when I drop in. And I'm thinking from here, it's like Escape from Tarkov just seems like my natural sort of progression point. So I think I'm going to be jumping into that after I get through that new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Probably get into either I think it's the Calypso Protocol. That's like a Dead Space game that's coming out in December. If that comes out right around when I'm finishing Call of Duty, I'll jump right into that. Otherwise, you might see me going into some Escape from Tarkov stuff. This doesn't mean I'm giving up on the console version of Rust. Since building this beastly PC, I have gotten some time to play the console edition of Rust. Been checking out the Village. You guys are doing an amazing job. I love the fact that I've been busy with all this stuff, making videos, trying to keep up to date. I'm going to be going for a while here, so I've got a backlog that I've got to set up a backlog of videos so YouTube doesn't decide to just drop me. because that happens. Like there's a lot of people that like my videos, they want to see my videos, but they're not seeing them. They think I stopped uploading, and YouTube just said, Cyril, you haven't uploaded for like 2 or 3 days. We're going to kick this person from your like viewer list. That's also why it's so important that you hit notifications, not just for me, but for you if you're interested in seeing these videos. And if you've made it this far, you probably are. Yeah, I've been busy just building up the backlog. So shout out to all the villagers who are keeping it going, keeping it alive. I've been watching that Discord, trying to interact with guys here or there, and I've jumped in every couple nights. I love what I see. Amazing job with those city walls, those village walls, and everything like that. It brings a smile to my face to see that people are actually enjoying themselves and creating like nice friendships and stuff like that in the village. That's the chill environment that I was going for. And even if I'm not around to enjoy it, to help guide it, I'm glad to see that I helped create something awesome like that. Also, one other issue that I've been dealing with, I have a feeling it's someone trying to get my channel banned or whatever. Yeah, we're this far and I'll talk about it. So basically what's been going on is one of my Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 videos that I made, like tips and tricks video, was getting some steam, and someone basically like attacked it. What they did is they basically dumped 300, 400, 500 subscribers on it, which kills the video because YouTube thinks I'm botting it. If you look at Social Blade, you'll see my channel jump up in subscribers and then drop because they were all bots. When it happened for a second, I'm like, oh my God, one of my videos took off. And then like I didn't see any jump in views or anything like that. And it confused me. And eventually I tracked it down to that video. So basically what happened, a video got too popular. And likely another creator, I don't know if you're watching right now, decided that they didn't like that. They thought they could rank better if they took my video down. And that's what happens. But it's happened to me before. It's going to happen again. That's just how it goes. But just been busy dealing with that, making sure that nothing bad happens to my channel as a result of it. So yeah, that's what I've been busy with. That's what I've been working with. If you made it this far, you know, I try to let you in a little bit. Hopefully I won't live to regret it. But thank you so much for all the support. You guys are all awesome. And with Halloween coming up, I hope you all have some really good plans for it. As you know, with me, I'm going to be just trick or treating. You know what I mean? I'm not going around like some sort of pedo. No. I'm going with kids in the parental sort of way, just so we're clear. But yeah, for all of you who are younger, hopefully you're gonna be going to some sick parties, having a good time. Halloween's always one of the best times to get out, enjoy some parties, enjoy some fun and everything like that. So make sure you don't keep your head in rust too much and you get out there and enjoy the real life. Anyways, until next time, peace.